The Kansas City Chiefs have meticulously crafted something extraordinary over the past few seasons. While Patrick Mahomes rightfully garners most of the spotlight for his offensive brilliance, there's another dimension of this team quietly ascending into one of the most intimidating forces in professional football: the defense. What was once considered a complementary asset has now matured into a potential driving force behind yet another Super Bowl campaign. At the epicenter of this defensive resurgence stands a man whose recent proclamation should have every franchise across the league paying close attention. When defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo recently likened linebacker Nick Bolton to the Patrick Mahomes of the defense, it wasn't casual praise. It was a purposeful declaration, an acknowledgement of Bolton's elite leadership, cerebral command of the game, and his uncanny ability to elevate everyone around him. Much like Mahomes alters the trajectory of games with instinctual brilliance and split-second decisions, Bolton brings a mirrored genius to the defensive side, sniffing out plays before they materialize, neutralizing threats with surgical precision, and aligning his teammates for maximum efficiency. Their respective approaches echo one another in a way that transcends position. Mahomes reads coverages, adapts mid-play, and conjures explosive opportunities from broken structures. Bolton, meanwhile, diagnoses offensive intent, disrupts rhythm, and recalibrates the defense in real time to counter any attack. That level of intuitive mastery is the hallmark of greatness and precisely what this Chiefs team needs as they chase another ring. Training camp is the crucible where championship aspirations are forged or fractured, and this year's sessions have already provided revealing glimpses into what Kansas City is sculpting on defense. On day 4, inclement weather forced practice indoors, shielded from public scrutiny, but conducive to more authentic conversations. It was there, away from the cameras, that Bolton's voice rang with clarity, conviction, and purpose. Addressing reporters with poise, Bolton didn't resort to the usual cliches. He didn't talk about taking it one game at a time or doing our job. Instead, he spoke like a man who sees the bigger picture and isn't afraid to chase it. "We had a pretty good defense last year in terms of efficiency," he began, his tone steeped in quiet confidence, the kind that championship dynasties are built upon. But then he pushed further, delivering a powerful message that should energize Chiefs fans and send chills down the spines of opposing coordinators. "We want to be the top defense in this league. I believe we have the personnel, the players, and the coaches to make that happen." This wasn't hollow optimism. Bolton's belief is rooted in hard evidence, a defensive unit that has steadily evolved from vulnerable to dominant. The transformation begins with proven veterans. Chris Jones remains a relentless disruptor in the trenches, collapsing pockets and dictating blocking schemes with his rare blend of size, power, and agility. His mere presence forces offensive coordinators to abandon their ideal game plans. Cornerback Trent McDuffie has blossomed into one of the NFL's most promising young lockdown defenders. His combination of spatial awareness, technique, and anticipation gives the Chiefs the luxury to dial up exotic pressures and rotate coverages without sacrificing stability on the back end. When one half of the field becomes a no-fly zone, it opens Pandora's box for creative defensive schematics. And then there's George Karlaftis, the emerging edge menace whose intensity and evolving pass rush arsenal make him a nightmare on third downs. Edge rushers often take their most significant leap in year 3, and if Karlaftis follows that trajectory, Kansas City may have a cornerstone defensive terror to complement its offensive juggernaut. Yet Bolton's most striking emphasis wasn't on star power, it was on discipline and consistency. "It's about executing every week, giving ourselves the best chance to win, and ultimately returning to the championship stage," he said with surgical clarity. This results-driven, process-oriented mindset is what distinguishes true contenders from pretenders. It's not just about talent, it's about cohesion, preparation, and a relentless standard of excellence. The Chiefs aren't simply relying on Mahomes' arm or offensive fireworks. They're constructing a balanced machine with a defense led by its own version of Mahomes. And if Nick Bolton continues to rise, don't be surprised when it's the defense that seals Kansas City's next championship. The Kansas City Chiefs defense wasn't just good last season. It was methodically efficient in ways that defy traditional metrics, yet profoundly influence outcomes on the scoreboard. This unit delivered timely takeaways, clutch stops, and consistently flipped field position. Those invaluable, often overlooked elements that championship-caliber defenses are built upon. And if linebacker Nick Bolton's recent declarations are any indication, this group is not satisfied with past success. They're aiming even higher. What makes Bolton's vision especially compelling is his acknowledgement of the masterminds orchestrating this transformation. Defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo has long been the architect behind some of the NFL's most adaptable and aggressive defenses. His talent for customizing schemes to suit his personnel, while preserving the attacking identity that has served Kansas City so well, is an essential component of their championship DNA. The Chiefs' offseason additions have only added fuel to this defensive resurgence. Rookie defensive linemen Omar Norman-Lott and Ashton Gillotte bring a fresh infusion of talent, hunger, and disruptive potential to the front seven. Norman-Lott's rare combination of power and explosiveness gives Kansas City a formidable force on the interior, capable of collapsing pockets and anchoring against the run. His collegiate production and athletic profile suggest he could contribute immediately, a valuable asset in a loaded AFC landscape. Gillotte, on the other hand, brings twitch off the edge and a relentless motor, two traits that thrive under Spagnuolo's rotational philosophy. His progress during training camp could make him an indispensable piece in keeping the defensive line fresh while applying constant pressure throughout 4 quarters. These are the types of players who shine brightest when the stakes are highest. Those late January moments where depth, effort, and endurance determine destiny. The secondary, too, has undergone a thoughtful evolution. The acquisition of veteran cornerback Christian Fulton adds proven coverage acumen and poise, perfectly complementing rising star Trent McDuffie. With 2 physical assignment-sound corners, the Chiefs have the luxury to unleash more exotic blitzes and disguise coverage shells. A nightmare for even the league's most experienced quarterbacks. While the departure of veteran safety Justin Reid left a leadership gap, second-year standout Jaden Hicks appears poised to fill that void. His rookie season flashed elite instincts and range, traits that often lead to major Year 2 leaps in production. Should Hicks make that developmental jump, Kansas City may have unearthed a long-term answer at a pivotal position. Bolton also highlighted an often overlooked element in championship continuity: chemistry. With nearly every starter from last year returning, the defense isn't starting from scratch. There's already embedded familiarity with the system, seamless communication across positions, and an elevated collective IQ. This synergy accelerates decision-making, reduces breakdowns, and fosters a resilient identity, especially under playoff pressure. This defensive roster blueprint is championship gold. Seasoned veterans who know their roles and execute them with precision, combined with ascending youth eager to make their mark and inject new life. Bolton's bold ambition to become the NFL's top defense isn't about individual accolades. It's about cultivating a unit so dominant, so reliable, that it becomes the backbone of another title run. Elite defenses don't merely slow down opponents, they generate short fields for the offense, flip momentum with explosive plays, and instill confidence that radiates through every sideline huddle and locker room meeting. The Chiefs have already mastered the art of winning with offensive firepower. Now, if the defense truly ascends to the level Bolton envisions, they could become virtually unbeatable when all cylinders are firing. What makes Bolton's declaration even more significant is the timing. Training camp boasts no shortage of lofty proclamations, but when they come from a battle-tested leader who has consistently backed his words with action, they hit differently. Bolton has already cemented himself as one of the league's most productive and reliable linebackers. His understanding of what it takes to thrive at the highest level gives serious credibility to his vision. The path to becoming the league's top defense is steep, especially in a conference teeming with offensive brilliance and schematic innovation. But the Chiefs possess the coaching acumen, personnel depth, and unified mindset to make it a reality. As training camp unfolds and the season draws near, Bolton's statement becomes more than motivation. It becomes the measuring stick. The Kansas City Chiefs are entering a pivotal and transformational offseason, burdened by intensifying pressure following their recent Super Bowl disappointment. Falling short of a historic three-peat has magnified scrutiny around every organizational move, from free agency signings and draft day decisions to intricate contract negotiations. With each tweet, draft board shuffle, and roster recalibration under a microscope, the very trajectory of the franchise now hangs in the balance. As Kansas City confronts these challenges head-on, fans and analysts alike brace for a high-stakes offseason marked by bold decisions and dramatic shifts. Changes that could reshape the identity of this storied franchise. Let's dive into some of the most significant developments, strategic moves, and contract pivots aimed at retooling the Chiefs for another Super Bowl run. But first, if you find value in this content, please take a moment to leave a like. It's a simple gesture that greatly supports our channel and helps keep content like this coming. We appreciate you. After the fall, responding to Super Bowl 59 defeat, following a season of unmet expectations and a crushing Super Bowl 59 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, exacerbated by an underperforming offensive line, the Chiefs are now faced with the urgent mandate to reinforce their roster. Concerns grew louder when veteran edge rusher Charles Omenihu, 28, posted the cryptic message, "Know your worth," on Twitter. This subtle declaration ignited speculation that the talented pass rusher could soon test free agency, further exposing the Chiefs' vulnerabilities at the position. Omenihu, who signed a 2-year, $16 million deal, missed a large portion of the 2024 season after suffering a torn ACL during the 2023 AFC title game. He made his return in Week 13 versus the Raiders, contributing modestly across the final 6 games. His postseason production, including 9 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and a sack, added some momentum, but advanced analytics paint a more sobering picture. According to Pro Football Focus, PFF, Omenihu earned a pass rush grade of 60.1, ranking 105th out of 211 edge defenders, and a run defense grade of 63.5, 83rd overall. Valued at approximately $7.3 million over 4 years, or $1.8 million annually, per SpotRack, his price tag could still be steep given the inconsistency. If he commands a similar contract elsewhere, Kansas City may be forced to fill that void through the NFL draft. Kelce's emotional crossroads and a strategic pivot at tight end. The Chiefs' devastating Super Bowl loss has done more than expose schematic flaws. It's reopened internal conversations about succession, particularly at the tight end position. A visibly emotional Travis Kelce recently appeared on the New Heights podcast, further underscoring the uncertainty surrounding his future as he approaches the twilight of a Hall of Fame-worthy 13-year career. With Kelce's potential retirement looming, the Chiefs face mounting pressure to protect their offensive edge. While many draft analysts expect Kansas City to address the offensive line with their number 1 pick, 31 pick Jordan Plocker of PFF proposes a different strategy. Invest in Kelce's successor now. Enter Colston Loveland, the Michigan tight end who averaged 2.67 yards per route run and earned a stellar 90.6 PFF receiving grade in 2024. That level of conviction demands several assumptions. That Mahomes sustains elite form deep into his late 30s, that the front office artfully navigates fiscal landmines, and that the ever-shifting landscape of the NFL doesn't veer into chaos over the next decade. But here's the real story beneath the surface. The true takeaway from this firestorm of debate: Chiefs' kingdom is divided, and that division is a direct reflection of a deeper truth, a rising anxiety about whether this dynasty can endure. When you win at the highest level, a different pressure takes root. Not just the expectation to win, but to repeat, to surpass, to sustain. Every coaching decision, every roster cut, every play call is now under the microscope. The coaching staff must continue innovating offensively within shrinking fiscal confines. The front office faces agonizing choices: which stars to extend, which legends to let go. And the players themselves must bear the burden of dynasty expectations while knowing that championship windows are fleeting, fragile, and closing faster than most realize. The Brady comparison serves both as inspiration and warning. Yes, 7 rings is the gold standard, a career of historic longevity and triumph. But even Brady required optimal rosters, organizational genius, and some fortunate timing across two franchises. His late career run with Tampa Bay proves both sides right. You can win into your 40s if you're great enough, but you must be surrounded by a championship infrastructure, or it doesn't matter. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow.